right there. That's some... That is some... I don't know. Some bullshit. I wasn't like in the exit, but I was right there, and that should just count. Usually does. There you go. It's a good tutorial. Not sure if I can solve the last one. Stop too short again. Yeah. Oh well. Didn't lose a lot of time, about a half a second. Should have gone for the next, whoops, gap between the bars. I was closer to being lined up for that. That was good. Right, let's not get stuck on the stairs. Right, hiding splits again. I really only want to see them for the first 3 splits, because those are the ones I can save a lot of time on. Slow fourth. Oh, I didn't get around the corner. It's okay, not horrible. Slow. Good. Good enough, red. No redirect. Alright, now we just need to not lose time. How about that? No failing panels, no making stupid mistakes. way too close. I got stuck on the branch. It's fine. Could have been faster, but that doesn't matter. Alright. Now let's just take bunker at a leisurely pace. Doesn't need to be super fast. Don't want to be on the stairs here. That was good. It was a really solid bunker. Now to fail jungle wall skip. It's gonna be close. Yep, worked. Pay attention. That was weird. No. Those are very bad solves. I was standing closer than I usually do. No, I'm standing way too far forward. Also didn't want to snap into that. All in all, a very bad bunker elevator, or bunker laser, I mean. No. First lineup was really slow, because there was a branch there. But the snipes themselves were pretty good. I'd say this has a chance of being sub 16. I have no idea though because of my splits hidden. Bunker was really good. Town was okay. The rest was fine. The only major mistake was failing the one panel in town. But my second solve on it was really fast.
Up there, you go around every hour and a half, time after time after time. You wake up usually in the mornings, and just the way that the track of your orbits go, you wake up over the Mideast, over North Africa. As you eat breakfast, you look out the window as you're going past, and there's the Mediterranean area, and Greece, and Rome, and North Africa, and the sun, the whole area. And you realize that in one glance, that what you're seeing is what was the whole history of man for years, the cradle of civilization. And you go around down across North Africa and out over the Indian Ocean, and look up at that great subcontinent of India, pointed down toward you as you go past it.
Oh.
And Ceylon off to the side, Burma, Southeast Asia, out over the Philippines, and up across that monstrous Pacific Ocean. Vast body of water. You've never realized how big that is before. And you finally come up across the coast of California and look for those friendly things. Los Angeles and Phoenix and on across El Paso. And there's Houston. There's home. And you look, and sure enough, there's the Astrodome.
Losing time.
And you identify with that, you know? It's an attachment. And down across New Orleans, and then looking down to the south, and there's the whole peninsula of Florida laid out. And all the hundreds of hours you spent flying across that route, down in the atmosphere, all that is friendly again. And you go out across the Atlantic Ocean and back across Africa. And you do it again, and again, and again. And that identity, that you identify with Houston, and then you
losing a bit of time
Los
on Mountain
Angeles,
1.
and Phoenix, and New Orleans, and everything. And the next thing you
Where I
recognize
lost time,
in yourself is you're identifying with North Africa. You look forward to that. You anticipate it. And there it is. That whole process begins to shift of what it is you identify with.
Force it.
When you go around it in an hour and a half, you begin to
Good job.
recognize that your identity is with that whole thing. And that makes a change.
It's good I wasn't in too much of a hurry there.
And you can't imagine how many borders and boundaries you crossed again and again and again. And you don't even see them. At that wake-up scene, the Mideast, you know there are hundreds of people killing each other over some imaginary line that you can't see. From where you see it, the thing is a whole, and it's so beautiful.
Good.
And you wish you could take one from each side in hand and say,
still not
look at
that
it from this
fast, but
perspective.
it's fast enough.
What's important? And so a little later on, your friend, again those same neighbors, another astronaut, the person next to you goes out to the moon. And now he looks back and sees the Earth not as something big where he can see the beautiful details, but he sees the Earth as a small thing out there. And now that contrast between that bright blue and white Christmas tree ornament and that black sky, that infinite universe.
There's the infinite universe.
The size of it, the significance of it.
Alright, this is a run.
Both things. It becomes so small and so fragile, and such a precious little spot in that universe that you can block it out with your thumb. And you realize that on that small spot, that little blue and white thing is everything that means anything.
Random panels, please.
All of history and music and poetry and art and war and death and birth and love, tears, joy, games, all of it is on that little spot out there that you can cover with your thumb. And you realize that that perspective, that you've changed, that there's something new there. That relationship is no longer what it was. And then you look back on the time when you were outside on that EVA and those few moments that you had the time because the camera malfunctioned, that you had the time to think about what was happening.
What the hell? Oh,
and
like
you recall staring out there at the spectacle that went before your eyes. Because now, you're no longer inside something with a window looking out at a picture. But now you're out there, and what you've got around your head is a goldfish bowl, and there are no limits here. There are no frames. There are no boundaries.
It's too far.
You're really out there, over it, floating, going 25,000 miles per hour, ripping through space.
I don't know, dude.
A vacuum, and there's not a sound.
Slow random panels, slow pillars.
There's a silence,
we'll see.
the depth of which you've never experienced before. And that silence contrasts so markedly with the scenery and the speed with which you know you're going. That contrast, the mix of those two things, really comes through. And you think about what you're experiencing and why.
In any case, our 3 days old infant cannot be very confident of any interpretation it puts on a universe. Looked at on the astronomical timescale, humanity is at the very beginning of its existence. A newborn babe, with all the unexplored potentialities of babyhood. And until the last few moments, its interest has been centered absolutely and exclusively on its cradle.
1554. It's sub 16.
A star at dawn.
Oh, 7 seconds on the last split though.